wrapping up, there were these Hispanic guys who were standing off to the side, and they started to make a comment towards Brandon. Brandon, what did they say to you?
Basically said, what you're doing is okay, but you need to get off this corner. This is our corner. Essentially, he said, we're in the Mafia, and my boss will be here in 10 minutes. And if you're not gone in 10 minutes, he's going to take all of your stuff. He said, you need to go right now.
Just go to another street, bro. It's okay what you're doing. Using another street because here, in corner, we sell dogs. Okay? So my boy is going to came up and take all of your things nicely, politely. I tell you to go to another street to do everything that you're doing. Okay? We don't want problems. You shouldn't want it either.
We're about to head out right now. Is there any way I could pray for you guys?
No, thank you, but go to another street.
Hey, have a blessed day, man. God bless you.
For the people that don't know, this is actually a preacher on the streets, and somebody wrote in the comment section, the Mafia treats you better than the other crowd you usually deal with. I mean, you can just go watch his content, but sometimes what the people say to a preacher is almost non-existent to any other person or minority or protective class. It's just way different.
Oh, you guys are against masks now? You know, the reason they have to wear them is because some of these violent protesters are trying to take their picture and dox them on the internet and put them and their families in harm's way. Do you agree with that?
I had
because
not,
I don't.
I had not heard about that, and which I think we live in kind of different informational silos. So I think you may not be as aware of the fact that there are like literally nannies out there with little kids in the neighborhood where I'm raising my family. The nannies are being snatched away, and the babies are being put in police cars for 4 hours. That's horrible. I didn't know about this doxing, and that's horrible too.
So since you usually tell us that we live in an echo chamber, that seems we can also give you the same energy. But I also find it very wild you didn't know that was happening, when clearly they're screaming that over and over, take off your mask.
Bad stuff is happening. The doxing should not be happening, but what's happening is those masks are terrifying people. But I wasn't aware of the doxing.
Well, I don't disagree with you about masks being, I mean, all the protests that are happening, you know, the Free Palestine people now who have now converted into the pro-Iranian regime people, a lot of them wear masks out there. We don't seem to be exercised about that. But in the case of these law enforcement who are being doxed, and I mean, they're only being doxed for one reason, because they want people to come along and do something terrible to them.
I'm from a law enforcement family, and I'm against that. And by the way, the Urban League is standing up against these mass protesters.
Like that, it's so normal now to dox people that are doing something that Congress wants. But the fact they're arresting the wrong people, you find it odd? When you allow the illegal people to come in, and now they want to arrest them, they can't reach them, they have to do more an effort to try to find them, and because they did an effort, because you didn't want to work together, you're angry they're finding more people. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the next clip has a little harsh language.
Hey, no Look at these fuckers, little bitches! Hey, why the fuck you guys touching people? Fuck you! Get the fuck out of here!
He fucking touched me, bro! Hey, what the fuck? What is he doing? He's a fucking hard-working bro!
And as you can see right here, ICE agent let his face cover drop as he's arresting a US citizen. And of course, this person doesn't want to allow you to reply to them unless they follow you, because they only like the conversation to be a one-way street. I wonder what the director of the FBI has to say about this.
I'm going to answer the mask question. A lot of agencies were invited to come out 2 weeks ago in Los Angeles where we ran an operation where ICE officers were doxxed. So let's just say that again. People are out there taking photos of the names, their faces, and posting them online with death threats to their family and themselves. So I'm sorry if people are offended by them wearing masks, but I'm not going to let my officers and agents go out there and put their lives on the line and their family on the line because people don't like what immigration enforcement is. They are wearing those masks because we ran an operation with the Secret Service where we arrested someone that was going online, taking their photos, posting their families, their kids' Instagram, their kids' Facebooks, and targeting them. So let me ask, is that the issue here, that we're just upset about the masks? Or is anyone upset with the fact that ICE officers' families were labeled terrorists?
Venga, dilo, remember to subscribe.
Remember to subscribe? ¿Por qué?
It's just odd. I never understood that. Sure, there might be bad cops. I agree with you. But it's just wild that you're doxing their kid.
All right, Democrats say, look, they are emotional, they are fed up, and they are going out and putting themselves in between ICE and some of the immigrants or making statements. Do you think it's political theater, or do you think, hey, this is something that they're really serious about and they want the public to see them out leading the charge.
Well, I agree with some of that. They are emotional, and the last part, they do want the public to see, but there's a lot of capital right now in the Democratic Party for getting arrested. In the case of Padilla, who if you handed me $10 million right now, if I could pick him out of a lineup, I don't think I could do it. Charging into a press conference, lunging towards a stage. I mean, I'm sorry, but screaming that I'm a senator, I'm a senator. I don't know who you are. I still don't know who the guy is. And so that's not good enough. He's a U.S. senator. If he wanted a meeting with her, he could have had one. And he did get one as soon as it was over with. I find it curious he had a staffer posted up in there to film the whole thing. These are clearly stunts. The guy who went to lock arms and interfere with the detention of an illegal in New York City. I mean, the energy in the Democratic Party right now is around doing everything they can do to protect the illegal immigrant populations in the United States, which is still baffling to me. But more than anything, the theater kids have taken over, and they are desperate to create theater, and that's all it is. It is not serious to try to lunge at the Homeland Security Secretary in a press conference and expect any, reasonable outcome.
And it's not just people with a mask. Mayor of Nashville is doxing like a boss, like I'm immune.
Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News. Okay. Do you believe that posting the names of federal immigration officers endangers them?
Well, this was really an issue where they were already part of a public record by being in Department of Emergency Communications calls, so I don't think it puts them at additional risk, but it's also not an intention of the executive order under which those names were released.
So if it doesn't put them at additional risk, why did your office decide to remove the names?
It wasn't an intentional process. We've had primarily using local departments. We've had multiple people whose names have been there, but again, this is something new. We're reviewing it. We've obviously had some concerns from DHS about release of those names. They would still be discoverable, but that was not an intent of the executive.
Do you understand the concerns of DHS when they're talking about endangering federal immigration officers by posting the names?
I understand the concerns, but it's not a process that I would characterize as doxing. It was an unintentional release of names that were already part of a public record.
So would you agree with them that releasing the names endangers them, or was it just to kind of appease
I wouldn't
HSI?
say it was an endangerment process. I would say they may have some concerns. I'm far more concerned about the overall dynamic we have about unmarked, unidentifiable, masked people whisking people into vehicles. I think that's a bigger concern.
Okay, and
all right, well, I guess we better go.
Bye, have a great time.
I didn't mean it in a bad way, but I removed it anyway so nothing bad happens, to be sure. But now I already put the names out there, but I'm not responsible anymore because people can use anything with that information because it was already public. Wow!
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, jam, turloqueta, verdetta, welcome.